5280 Sports Network, Mile High Sports. Welcome, everybody. Nate Lundy, Shawn Drotar down there at the end, and the kid, Brandon McManus. First of all, let's start here. Where does the Twitter handle come from? Where's the kid McManus come from?
So I got the nickname in high school. Just call me the kid, and so I just did the kid McManus. And back in the day, I think my email address was that, and like my what is it, AIM or something, instant messaging or something was that. So that's where it all came from and started from.
I've had the Doogie Howser nickname my whole life, so I feel you. It's okay. I just was curious where it came from, if it was something that you picked up, something a coach used to call you or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, just
I like it, though, so I continue to use it.
So you got frustrated with Shawn and I earlier because Lindsey Rhodes from the NFL Network had stopped by, and that was your time slot. But I think you could see why we were okay talking with her just for a minute. Was that okay?
It was longer than a minute. I don't know if I had to go get a lunch break or something, but no, I understand why. Yeah, she's a pretty woman, and she could take my time slot.
All right. Brandon, as you sit here this year on this side of it, obviously a year ago everything was completely different. How's it now a year removed from being a part of hoisting the trophy?
Yeah, obviously it's different this year. I'm here sitting with you guys, a little different rather than practice getting ready. But this is something different for me. I've never not made the playoffs, and I know the Broncos are so used to winning. So I think it's been maybe 5 or 6 years, maybe when Tebow was here. They didn't make the playoffs, I'm not sure. But it's a lot different. I was saying over there earlier that, being a kicker, everything – I have to be focused, locked in on anything. So if I had a loose muscle, there's a chance I might miss a kick. So I didn't get to enjoy the Super Bowl so much up until after we won the game, because then I could relax knowing that the season's over and I can't miss another kick until next year. So that was the biggest thing. And so now I'm able to kind of have here, even though we're not playing, you come, have some fun and kind of see everything that is about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I mean, obviously you'd rather be in the game. Every player would rather be in the game. But being able to step away from it, that pressure's not there, get to do this sort of a madness with guys like us and see what that's like, and maybe scare yourself away from doing this long term. I mean, that's probably got to be some sort of slight silver lining.
Well, usually we're in radio, so they can't see our faces. This is a little change up. So I feel like I could do this. But
yeah. I count on it. I'm uncomfortable already. It's an important part of my
three guys screened into a tight laptop screen. But no, it's just like I said, it's a little different than last year. But these are still I have friends on these other teams, and they've worked so hard obviously to get to this point like we did last year, and it's extremely hard to win in this league and to get to the Super Bowl. So, I'm excited to watch them, and hopefully we bounce back. Obviously, we have a new coaching staff coming in, and a lot of returning players, so it should be a good time.
You just talked about the new coaching staff. Fans make a really big deal whenever coaches change, when coordinators change. I mean, fans are going to make a big deal out of it because they identify with it. They see them on the press conferences and stuff every week. But for you and your teammates, as you've gone through from high school to college to the pros, you've played for a lot of different coaches. Is it as big a deal to you and to your teammates when coaches change as it might be to the fans? I mean, is it like a drastic change, or you just keep rolling?
I think it's difficult for
we're getting photobombed here.
TJ, hey,
we're getting photobombed by TJ.
Good,
I like this.
Look at you, spiffy as always, man.
We got to get you one of those jackets.
Yeah, I do have one.
Okay.
I didn't want to break it out and show a lot of people up, but I guess he didn't mind that today. And the shoes, got leopard shoes on, but
oh, geez, we didn't see the shoes. Sorry, coaching changes. Sorry.
So for me specifically, I might be a little different just because my job is to kick between two yellow posts and to make it. Rather than if someone maybe like Vaughn, who's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker, obviously he's super talented. He could play in whatever defense you can, but maybe there's certain positions or players that might be lean towards one coaching compared to the other. But they all say the same things in the meetings. They all make sure we're doing the right things off the field to help the team win, and they're all setting us up with the leaders that we need. A lot has to do with what happens in the locker room and the players and the leadership you have. So obviously it's good when it comes down from the chain of command, but I don't think a coaching change is a massive thing for the players.
All right.
How did you feel about the kickoff change, the rules of the kickoff change? Obviously, the idea was to reduce concussions, but of course, special teams coaches and players like yourself got smart and realized we can drop these mortar kicks in and actually pin them deeper than we were before. Do you want that to come back? Do you think they're on the right track, or do you think that was one of those ideas that didn't entirely pan out?
I mean, I hated the rule, but it's something that you have to deal with, and to me, and obviously it's what our game plan was all year, was to not kick touchbacks and kind of pop it up. A lot of times when I did kick touchbacks, I kicked it too far by accident. But there are times in the game where it's a tight game and you don't want to risk the return where you're going to kick a touchback. But if there's a strategic way of trying to keep them inside the 25, you're going to want to do it, because the NFL is a game of field position, and it's a game of percentages and scoring. So the further you're able to keep them away from your end zone, and is a better thing. And I don't want the rule to continue to change. So I want the rule to go back kind of what originally was, or kind of manipulate it another way. That way, if you kick a touchback, it doesn't go to the 25-yard line. So I'm actually going to be going to the combine in March and trying to be part of the competition committee to help save or change the kickoff back to what it was.
Casey, come here. We gotta get Casey on the video here. Casey Kreiter's here as well. I gotta find out. You gotta duck behind because we gotta all fit in the camera here, Casey.
For you that don't know, Casey Kreiter is the long snapper.
Casey
Kreiter.
Okay, so Casey, come here. Has on any kicks, extra point, has Brandon ever yelled at you?
Never. Brandon doesn't yell at me. I usually know if I mess up, but I'll tell him sorry before he gets a chance to yell at me.
So he's not giving you any grief?
Not on the sideline, at least.
No, I don't.
Is he lying? Is he lying right now?
No, I don't. No, I don't blame anyone. These guys are too good. They get paid a lot of money, just like me, to do their job. So, no, if I miss, it's my fault.
Is it true? Because we've said many times that if the long snapper is practically anonymous, that's a good thing because it means you're doing your job, right?
Absolutely. You don't want to hear my name, and I don't want anyone to know what my name is. So I try to stay anonymous.
Well, if you make a tackle on a punt, we want to hear your name throughout the
stadium.
But
there's a lot better athletes out there than me, and it's usually not a good thing if I'm the one making the tackle.
That's right.
Can Brandon tackle?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I had 2 tackles this year.
Yeah, it was like
he might have more than I had this year.
Yeah, I had 2. One was a funny one. It was a ring around the rosy on the New Orleans Saints guy, the opening kickoff, but I got him down. So
he was looking at his finger once after a tackle, and I told him to suck it up a little bit.
Did you get a little hangnail? Did you get a scratch?
It was a paper cut or something.
Last one for you. Do you guys ever at all get annoyed if the credit that's given for your success is simply because of our altitude in Denver?
He's been here longer than me, but I think that would be really annoying. This guy's so good, and he can kick in any place, anywhere. So the altitude should not factor into his success.
What do you think?
I was just at a birthday party at Britton Colquitt's house with Matt Prater as well, and we talked about it. And you still need to be able to kick the ball straight.
Yeah.
The width of the yellow uprights does not change. So, and no matter what, people could say all these things. The furthest I've ever kicked a field goal was 75 yards in Denver. The furthest I've ever kicked a field goal where I'm from in Philadelphia is 75 yards. I cannot kick it further in Denver than I can in the East Coast. So people could say what they want. Kickoffs, I think, might be a little different just because people get a lot more of a running start.
Sure.
And you're kicking off a tee, so you're getting the ball up in the air faster. But I cannot kick the ball any further, and I'm dead honest about that. But like I said, you still have to be able to kick the ball straight, and that's what Matt Prater and I were talked about and gave grief about. So.
Not too bad. We get Brandon McManus. We get a guest appearance by Casey Kreiter. We get T.J. Ward wandering around in his leopard shoes. So there you go.
And we know you can now petition your new special teams and Vance Joseph that when you get within 70, I got this.
I got this.
Self-plug on your show.
5280 Sports Network with a cast of characters. Thanks for stopping by.